Suncoast NPI, a world-class networking organization with a community look and feel. We're all about passing qualified business referrals and have chapters throughout the Tampa Bay area. Suncoast NPI, when we pull together,
we all win!
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm John Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI. What we're bringing to you today is Suncoast NPI Podcast. This thing is off the chain. The results that we're hearing is phenomenal. The value add we're getting for our membership is stinking amazing, and just it's fun, man. Suncoast NPI, if you haven't heard of us, you're missing out. What we are is a seat-specific referral networking organization with a community look and feel. So that's a mouthful, but what I want to just focus in on where we're going to tee up Andy here, it's seat-specific. So our chapters, we currently have 10 throughout the Tampa Bay area. They're full of people that are true rock stars at what they do, that have a servant's heart, that are committed to the commitment to make these chapters thrive and have each other's back. But why the heck are you saying that to the podcast world? Because that's what we're teeing up, man. We're bringing podcasts to the world with what these are. Rock stars in their profession, Andy Goodwin. Servant's heart, Andy Goodwin. Commitment to the chapter and bringing value to the world, Andy Goodwin, man. Andy Goodwin, Southern Life Realty.
How we doing?
Woo! I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. Don't tell
I'm
the
excited
other
to
ones,
be here. This is awesome.
But dude, this is going to be off the chain, man. So we're talking to the public out here, and I've known you for a while, bro.
Yeah.
I love you like a brother, even though you're a Kentucky guy. No. I'm a Florida State guy, but that's over a beer later, not today.
I just chose to pay for my shoes.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
Get them for free. That's all.
That's so old school, man. All right, so tell us who you are. Tell the world who you are. Yeah. One of the things we do with NPI is we do a 30-second infomercial. Sure. So why don't you tee that up so people get a nice little, just quick snippet of Andy Goodwin.
Okay. Andy Goodwin, Sun Life Realty. A little different 30-second commercial. I'm talking about myself here a little bit. Own a brokerage. We are an agent-based brokerage, which means we totally focus on making our agents money. Not about the broker making money. We will make ours in the long run, but it's about making agents successful and letting them put the most money in their pockets as they work hard for their families or whatever their goals are. So that's what we do at Southern Life, and we love it.
And we love you, man. And not only you, your business partner, Damon Lister. Damon, what's up, bro? And he's a Florida State guy, so you know.
So you got half.
I got half of SLR, right, Damon? Go Noles, baby.
Brainwashing happens everywhere. It's cool.
So you guys started with a great idea, a great concept, right? Mm-hmm. So how's your agent? I mean, what's the growth? What have you been seeing going on?
Yeah, so we are growing pretty quick. So we started in 2018, end of 18, October of 2018. We now have just under 40 agents.
Yep.
So we're growing.
Nice.
Growing at a good pace, but we're starting to get recognized out there, and to me, that's the biggest thing. When I think the biggest compliment from an agent standpoint or a referral agent, I think we've had 5 in the last week that have done it. We've actually had agents who have gone through transactions with our agents, and then they've reached out to us because they love the way that the transaction went with our agents. Gotcha. So they were kind of like, these people are awesome. I want to know what's going on. And then next thing you know, they come on board with us. So to me, the product and the with what our agents are doing and the way that they go about their business, the professionalism they use, getting agents to come on that way is better than almost anything you can do because it just shows that what you're doing is working.
It's working, yeah. And then you have your agents out there kind of doing their thing, getting trained up in your world, right, with your mentality and your mindset, and then showing the others how to go. What a better way to do that, right?
Yeah.
So how about just for the world, just to understand a little bit about Andy and Damon, take us a half step back, right? Sure. So kind of what led you to one, getting Southern Life Realty, but really just getting the entrepreneurial mindset on doing this? Because this was definitely a stepping out time for both you and Damon, right?
Yeah, it was. We were, so I background on me is I had played professional golf for 12 years. So I was kind of already in the entrepreneurial mindset.
Hear that? Professional golf. So I've seen him on the golf course, dude. Do not bet against him.
So I was used to running my own business, and when my golfing career ended, or when I chose to kind of walk away from it, I went into the corporate world. And when you've been running your own business for so long,
right,
jumping into the corporate world is like a shock like nobody's business. And I did it for about 5 years, and there was a lot of great things that I learned from the corporate world.
Sure.
I was in an outside sales job. I was selling probably one of the hardest things you could possibly sell. So I learned a lot, but I also learned what I didn't like.
Yep.
And I didn't like being told that I had to come in and have meetings on Monday and Wednesday to rah, cheer me up, pom-poms to get me motivated to go do something. I actually asked my boss at one time, I said, if we have to motivate people this way, aren't we hiring the wrong people?
Amen, brother.
Because really, my motivation is my house, my family, putting food on the table. There's no manager or boss that can go and tell me, oh, you need to work harder for them. Yeah. Like, no one's going to do that. You're the only one that can do it. So when I was still doing the corporate job, I ended up buying my house, funny enough, and Damon was my agent. And I'm probably one of the crazier people that actually enjoyed the house buying process. I mean, I don't think most people do. But I was like, man, this is awesome. And so I got my license, and I was doing both of them simultaneously.
Right.
And the real estate, with my background, being local here, playing golf, I knew a lot of people.
Right.
And so it blew up pretty quick. And it didn't take long before I was like, I'm out on the corporate America. I can't do both.
Right.
This was an easy pick. Then once I got into it, I was working side by side with Damon at another brokerage. And I knew at that point, too, that now I'm still working under someone else. And why not create something that, we can have that's our own company.
Right.
And so that's kind of where Southern Life came in. And we were on the fence of, do we buy a franchise of another brokerage, or what do we do? So I went to another bigger franchise brokerage for a year to learn, get mentored. The guy that did was an amazing guy, still a very good friend of mine. And I learned a lot through that process, but I also learned that I didn't want to be a franchisee of a big box broker, because the big box brokers are still about the broker, and it's about the broker making money, and it's not a fault to them. It's just the system, the way it's set up. It's an older kind of model system. They have franchising fees, they have rights, they have buildings that they have to have, they have all sorts of things that are kind of your old school real estate world. Right. And the world is changing. I mean, everything's technology. I don't know in the time that I've been in real estate that someone's ever come up to me and said, hey, I want to buy a house, but I have no clue what's out there on the market. Can you please show me a house? I mean, they come, your buyers come to you because they know, like, and trust you, and they have a relationship with you. And all of a sudden, their wife was in bed at 10 o'clock at night flipping through Zillow or whatever, and was like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool to have this house? So then they're coming to you with houses. All the technology is out there for them to know what is there. So in my opinion, for an agent working hard, why should I take 20, 30, 40% of that money when, in reality, they're hanging with me because you have to hang with a broker. Yeah. It's not that I'm, providing all these listings or all these houses that I own. The book of business is different now than what it was before. So we want to empower our agents, and we want to, our vision for it was to let our agents make the most that they can. They have the same driving goals behind them that I do. They have families. Whether they have a wife and kids at home, or they have, they're a single entrepreneur that wants to get into, generating long-term wealth for themselves and investments, whatever it is, they all want to make money. And we want to give them everything that a big box broker gives you, and give them all the money that they can get as well. Yeah. And so that's kind of where we came up with it.
That was a lot of nuggets there, man. And if I can recap a little bit, pushing 40 agents, right? Mm-hmm. Key word with you on your background, always learning. Yep. Right? Even today, you're still learning, right? Abundant mindset. It's one of the things I love about you. Think big. And tech's playing a huge role in the vision for make people have more money in their pocket.
Yeah.
So, and it's a win-win, right?
It is.
So that's awesome. So Southern Life Realty, it has a nice little twang to it, or a slang to it, or something like that.
Yep.
How did you and Damon come up with this little beast called Southern Life Realty?
So we actually, my dad is a very smart businessman, and he kind of walked through some of the processes with us, and basically we built this business backwards. I wanted to have an end plan and then work towards what it would look like.
Okay.
And our end plan is to encompass the South. So we're going to be opening up in North Carolina by the end of the year. Tennessee will be next. And then hopefully Kentucky. That's my selfish desire, to have something in the bluegrass.
You just want to go up there and go big blue basketball game, football games, and write the whole thing off.
We need to have some presence up there at some point.
I got that end game on that one.
And then Georgia will obviously be one in there. But
that's
we
cool.
We want to kind of encompass the South. And the other main part of it is that Damon and I are not the type that's about me. It's not about us. Quite honestly, I don't care if anyone knows that I own the brokerage or not. I want Southern Life Realty to be the driving factor, not Andy Goodwin, not Damon Lister.
Gotcha.
It's not about us. That's
right.
not the purpose of our brokerage. It's about the feel, the brand, the community that we build. I believe our brokerage has a much different feel than a lot of others. Kind of like our Dunedin NPI chapter has a much different feel than all the other MPI chapters.
Oh.
Sorry, MPI peeps out there. I'm just throwing that out there.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's an amazing thing. No. I'm kidding. All the MPI chapters are great. But we have an energy in here that is different than some others.
That's
every group has their own thing, and I really think the culture that we have established with Southern Life is different. It's unique.
Yeah.
And when people are around it, they'll say it.
Yeah.
And so that's what pushes the brand. That's what and it kind of encompasses the whole thing. It's a southern.
I like it.
Even though Florida's probably the farthest from the southern of all of those southern states, because Florida's kind of on its own island.
Hey, man.
Even though we're south, I don't know that we're really southern, but it is what it is.
Hey, make America Florida again. Come on, let's go.
There we go.
Hey, I didn't say that, did I? So that's cool. And I never heard you say that before. So what I heard out of that is reverse engineering, right? So you had your end game and plan, you have your end game and plan, and brought it back. And as the entrepreneurs out there listening, that's perfect in every aspect of our life, whether we're building our marketing plan, whether we're building our business plan, our sales plan, what is the end, and then reverse it back in, right? So
it's actually something I learned when I was playing professional golf. Interesting tip for any golfers out there.
Let's hear this.
Any golfers out there. Golf course architects build courses to be intimidating from the tee box to the green. Most professional golfers will do a practice round and they'll walk a course backwards because you get to see the actual fairness of the course. So it might be visually intimidating from the front, from off the tee box, which is how it's designed. If you walk it backwards, you see a fairway might be 50 yards wide, and it's very easy to hit. But the architects build it from an intimidation from the front.
Yeah.
So build a business from the back, and then you have your
dude. How's that for some wisdom right there? So now just a really weird. So do you literally have to go from the hole on the 18th green and physically walk backwards?
Yes.
Do you physically walk backwards?
Oh, I don't physically walk backwards. I actually. I
figured you would.
I walk forward. But I actually But when I got to a tournament venue where I had not seen the golf course before, I would literally my practice rounds. Before I would pre-walk a course, I would walk from 18 to 1.
That's cool.
And get to see everything from a bigger vantage point.
That's cool. And that's the only thing, people that are older, I'm a little bit older than you. If I did that now at my age, by the time I walked from 18 to 1, I'd be ready for hole 19. Come on. I'd be what are we doing? Let's go. That was a good round.
We're good. We're done.
That's cool. That's a great tip, and that's awesome. Hey, so 40 agents, and you're building out a customer base. Mm-hmm. So what can you share that has worked for you as you kind of start to build, as you you started to build that customer base and you continue as you reverse engineer that process. Yeah. So what's been working?
I think a lot of it is, I'll kind of talk about what we talk with a lot of our young agents about, right? So I think it happens across any business, right? When someone gets into something, they want to instantly have the home run, right? They want $1 million listing. They want to be a listing agent. But there's a reality of that. You've owned a lot of houses in your life. Would you let a guy who's done 3 transactions in their life list your house?
No, sir.
Okay. So you have to kind of crawl, walk, run.
Yep.
Right. And so I encourage all of our young agents to go find buyers. I know it's a lot more work, right? There's a reason why, 90% of listing agents are people who have been in the industry for 8, 10, 12, 15 years, whatever. If you went and so I try to make a goal for our agents. Do a closing a month. Your first year, do 12 closings. Those are buyers. If you can double that the next year. The average time right now that someone stays in a house is like 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
So if over the first 2 years I've built up and say I have 40 buyers.
Right.
Now what happens? My third year, some of these people are starting to say, I want to get out of this house. Let's go sell now.
Yep.
Now what happens is you get a sell and a buy. So every transaction doubles. And you're kind of multiplying your growth through your initial buyers.
Gotcha.
The hard part of that is, especially in a market like we have right now, it's hard for buyers. I mean, it is a very limited market. Right. So you have to be more strategic, which we have different ways of going about helping them write contracts, different ways of adjusting or putting an offer in to get their buyers in.
Right.
But really that's how it starts. You have to start with what you don't want to do, right? It's the grunt work. It's any entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The grunt work in the beginning is the hard part. And if you can make it past that 2 or 3 year point, you can probably have a very successful career.
Gotcha.
In real estate.
Yeah.
My situation was a little different because I'm born and raised in Clearwater. Had a pretty big network of people.
Yeah.
So when I got into real estate, I already had quite a few people that have known me since I was 5 years old.
Right.
And so that definitely helped me more than it helped your average person.
The person moving here from New York, coming on down here, taking a slice of heaven in Florida, right?
Right. And so that's the way we approach if you're trying to build a business, go at it that way.
I like it.
Let the buyers agents or let the buyers continue to build, and in that time, let's be honest. I mean, I think right now the median home value in Pinellas County is a little over $300,000 right now. So if you're saying on average you're making anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000 per transaction. Yep. You do 12 of those a year. There's not many college jobs coming out of college that you can make that kind of money.
Nope, that's
it adds up pretty quick. So it's a great industry to be in. It gives you the freedom to still do what you want.
Yeah,
it's the ultimate work hard, play hard, probably industry that there is.
Yeah, that's cool. What about something like this? Let's go and do a celebration. Mm-hmm. But something like a satisfying moment for you that maybe even some of the folks out there maybe you can lift them up by sharing something of this nature.
Regarding the business and what we've done.
Yep.
So I think some of the cool stuff that we've seen is, again, it goes back to I just love watching people succeed. That's really why I wanted a brokerage, because I love coaching people. I love being able to pour into people.
Yep.
We've had quite a few agents that were part-time agents. Maybe you were a school teacher and then you were doing real estate on the side. Maybe you were, part-time wherever, doing just kind of jobs, odds and ends to kind of make some money.
Right.
But it might not really have been what you wanted to do. And they've come on board, and we have quite a few of them that are just, now they're full-time agents, big agents. I mean, they're doing 14 to 15 transactions a year, making more money than some of them are making more money than their husbands are making with their jobs, which were great jobs that were allowing them to just work limited, to still be a mom or whatever it might have been.
I hear you.
Or a school teacher. And I think watching them come in, letting us pour into them, letting us mentor them, and then watching their growth, to me, that's better than any deal that I could close. That's because that's the core value of what we want to do. We want to watch people become successful.
No, that goes back to right there to your heart, man. So going like servant's heart. That's one of the reasons I think we're almost like kindred souls, right? Because I feel the same way with the organizations I have, and it's like, just see people get better, including ourselves.
Yep.
Right? Very cool. So what advice would you give somebody that's out there, it's young, maybe they just graduated college, maybe their college isn't their thing, and they're thinking entrepreneurial. What kind of nugget would you drop on it?
I think my advice to someone coming out of college, someone that's just, I don't care what business they want to be in. I think there are too many people in this world that want to shut people down. And I think a lot of that comes from probably a place of jealousy, or if someone else succeeds, I'm not doing anything, or whatever it might be. I face that. And when I went to start playing golf for a living, I was told, you're never going to do it. No one, you're not good enough. This isn't whatever. And I just think that whatever you believe, put everything into it and go do it, regardless of what anyone else says. You know what I want to say right now, don't you? Whether you can or whether you can't. You're right. Yeah, exactly. But honestly, like I think there's so many young kids that have such creative minds, and so many people want to shut them down. Yeah. And whatever that idea is, do it. No doubt. But whatever you do, the follow up on that is you got to be all in, 150%. You got to be all in, and ride that ship until it sinks. And if it sinks, don't get frustrated. Come up with another idea. No doubt. How many times does it take to create a light bulb that we all, pay a lot of money for now? Yeah, right. Exactly. So whatever that is in your mind, it's not a bad idea. It only becomes a bad idea if you don't let that idea grow. If you shut that idea down, that's the bad idea. And what do they say? Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, right? And that's one of the things that's beautiful about our country. There's a lot of people that are bashing it, but they're still. It's like, hey man, pull up your britches and let's go. And fail forward and abundant mindset and go. I agree with that 100%. So thanks for that. Hopefully some people out there heard some encouraging noise. Excuse me. Couple things, man. We'll look to wrap this up. Yeah. Kind of a selfish plug for you. People are out there tuning in. I'm like, hey, I'm liking what I hear with Andy Goodwin and Southern Life. So what can I do, or what can the listeners do out here to support you and your work, and what can they do to kind of lean in and help? Sure. Any kind of referrals. We always take referrals. Someone trying to buy, sell, we still very much do that. And again, if you have friends that are agents, or people are agents, and they're I don't know about this, I give my broker this much money. Yep. Have a conversation. Just because you talk to us doesn't mean you have to change. And I want people to change because they want to come over. I don't want someone to change just because someone feels like they have to, or someone's making them. That's not the principle we run off of. But have a conversation with us. No pressure. I'm not going to pressure anyone to coming over. You're pretty intimidating. I don't know. I know, man. I'm a pretty scary guy. Yeah, but that's the referrals for that, and talking to our people. And I love when people come in and they meet with us. Agents meet with us. I let them go talk to our agents. Yeah. I don't want to sell myself. Go talk to our agents. Tell me what let them tell you. Yeah. What they like about it, what they don't like about it. Gotcha. Right? Everyone's been in front of someone that wants them to come work for them, and they absolutely the fluffing up is put you in the clouds, right? Yeah. And then you get in there and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Nope, I'm out. Our cards are all laid on the table with and you can talk to any of our people, and it's just that's the culture that we created. So come check us out. Yeah. That's all I can. You guys hear that? Say. We got a brand new website up. It's pretty cool. SouthernLifeRealty.net. .net. Yep, we weren't fancy enough to get the .com, so we got the .net. SouthernLifeRealty.net. Andy Goodwin. And so, two things, and we'll wrap. Okay. Yep. So, shameless plug. Yeah. For me. Sure. You've been a valued Suncoast NPI member. I remember our first phone call. And that phone call, I thought was going to take about 3 minutes. And that phone call, if I had looked back at my records, was more like an hour and a half. Probably so. Maybe even more. I can't believe how much you like to talk. Yeah. Just tried to hang that thing up for 40 minutes.
But I felt like that first time that we had that call, we didn't know each other from Adam.
No.
And we had a phone call, and honestly, I don't even remember who referred who to who or vice versa.
It was Christy Fiat. I think you talked. I think he was.
You're right.
Maybe first in Oldsmar with the inspections.
Yep. Christoph Fiat with Rocks.
Solid Rock.
I'm sorry, Chris. I love you like a brother. Solid Rock inspections. But yeah, that's right, Chris. And ever since that phone call, I feel like I'm like, not only are we going to do business together, we're going to be friends.
Absolutely.
And so you've been a member for a while. You've seen the same happen.
4 years.
4 years going on. Soon to be 5. Soon to be 5.
Maybe. I don't know.
What? Oh no! You heard it right now. He said he's in.
Hey, that might cost John Marshall a little Bruce Chris dinner or something.
Oh dang it, man! He's making me pull out my phone and everything. There, it's yours. No, but tell us about your experience. Just lay it out.
It's been great. I think that I've done networking in the past. I think we talked about that when I first came in. I was in that other organization, and I just really had a bad taste of networking. I was like, this is just a waste of time. It's just, it's a fraternity. If you don't give out so much, you're not going to get anything. But the one thing about MPI is that it is networking, but it's a culture. It's actually similar to what I think we have with the Southern Life. It's just not a group. It's a culture, and there's unique differences about the MPI versus any other networking group that I've been in. And there's a genuine care. There's a care. You genuinely care for every single person that is in all 77,000 of your chapters.
Yep. Soon to be 78,000.
78,000, right.
Sorry.
So it's a lot of chapters if you guys didn't know that. But it's more of a family than it is networking. And if you come into a networking group looking for me, what am I going to get out of this? Yeah. It's probably not going to work no matter where you go.
Yeah.
And so it's just really neat to be able to watch other people grow. Again, I love the growth that I've seen in our group. Yeah. I think our chapter, let me see. I don't want to mess up the numbers here, but I think we started about 8 people, right?
Give or take a few.
Give or take a few. Maybe 10, but only like 7 showed up half the time.
Pretty much.
We were in the small room at the Denny's. It's no longer
we blew that place up. We set it on fire.
Literally,
we didn't like the place. We just set it on fire.
They kicked us out after, actually, when we went to the meeting one day and the doors were locked and no one told us that they just closed the doors and now it's going to be a doctor's office. So, but we were at one point where I remember sitting on the board and we had a conversation with you, or you had a conversation with us, I should say, of something needs to happen or we're going to close this chapter.
Yeah.
And now this chapter has 30 strong.
Yeah.
We're at a place where we're very selective on picking the right spots to fill in. And the room is packed and there's people succeeding. And there's people that are making 3, 4, 5 times the money they were before they got into the networking group.
Yeah.
And that's just a testament to what it is. And I think it's really cool to see the growth and to see how all parts of businesses are succeeding inside of this. It's not just only the builders or only the chiropractors. I mean, literally every seat that we have is turning in thank you for closed business, which is tenfold what they're paying on their membership.
Yeah.
I mean, the ROI is almost instant for a lot of people.
Sure.
And so I think it's awesome. And it's the best part of the week. I love getting up on Wednesday mornings.
It's fun coming in here, right?
To come get my free breakfast.
Well, I appreciate the plug. And in all seriousness, I mean, we're only as good as the member, right? And it started back to what we said earlier. Seat specific, so Rockstar, which you are, servant's heart, come into the commitment. It's as simple as that. And that's what it's all about. So let's close. I know you got a killer motivational
I got
quote.
One right here.
You have to look it up? Oh my goodness.
No. It's very simple, but it kind of goes along with what I was saying in the beginning. But it's
tell them.
Tell you.
Yes.
Push yourself because no one's going to do it for you. It's a simple entrepreneur mindset. Here's another one. If you don't like your results, look in the mirror because the guy in the mirror is the only one that's controlling the results. So, or girl, sorry.
Yeah, that's
the
fair.
person in the mirror is the only one controlling the results.
Nicely said. Andy Goodwin, Southern Life Realty, and I'm John Marshall, Suncoast NPI, and the Suncoast NPI podcast. You crushed it, brother. Suncoast NPI podcast. If you like what you heard here, we ask you to subscribe, follow us, check us out on social media, all the different channels out there. We're coming to you. We're coming to you large and fast and quick, and we're only helping you grow. Hit the like button.